So this Black Badge Bespoke series, what can we expect next?
So Black Badge, we just introduced this car last year. The first customer units were delivered in December. It represents a departure for Rolls-Royce because it's a permanent bespoke series designed to attract younger customers, at least younger at heart. And it's somewhat edgier, so it's kind of the aggressive Rolls-Royce that will attract this younger customer.
We were looking at pictures of the Wraith there down in the courtyard. That's W-R-A-I-T-H, which I had to look up actually. It means ghost or like spectre, something that's almost disappearing. And your previous one was Phantom, so I guess it's to appeal to those of us who aren't into conspicuous consumption, but maybe inconspicuous consumption. How much do they start at?
So a Wraith typically starts at around $325,000. The Black Badge package is another $45,000. By the time you're done, the car will be just slightly under $400,000.
Mark, you're putting your name down, I imagine?
Yes.
It's when Pedro talked about young at heart and here, I knew I was out of the equation. I knew I'm not part of that demographic. But Pedro, I want to ask you about political risks to Rolls-Royce. I mean, in a calendar full of political risks, such as Brexit and various elections around Europe, does that detract from possible sales or not?
Let's see, maybe two sides of the equation. So we know that luxury car sales are heavily correlated with the S&P 500. So as soon as Donald Trump was elected and we have this Trump rally in the stock market, we saw very strong sales in November, December, and also January. So we're doing very well in North America. There are, however, as you mentioned, Mark, political risks mostly in the Middle East. And you never know exactly what comes out of China. So we see some geopolitical risks more in other parts of the world, not so much in North America and in Europe.
And Pedro, on China, I mean, it's obviously, the future. It's an important place for you. How does that affect future models of the brand, both from an electric and from a special edition standpoint when we think of China?
So China, as you probably know, it's a market that will be where our Phantom extended wheelbase will do extremely well. People like to be driven. For example, in the US, we see a very high penetration of the short wheelbase because people in the US tend to drive the cars themselves. So the Chinese market is very different. So you probably heard that we're launching the new Phantom this year, and we expect to see a lot of good things from this car line in China as of next year. And China has been recovering, so it's on a good trend.
What is the future for self-driving technology within Rolls-Royce? We're going to be speaking in a moment to Brian Krzanich of Intel, which just bought Mobileye for that very reason.
So as you know, Rolls-Royce is part of the BMW Group, and we have access to the best technologies from the BMW Group. Our cars, we have dedicated platforms that BMW Group, provides for us. So the new Phantom will be built on a dedicated platform from BMW. We'll be ready. When the market is ready, we'll be ready with electric cars and also with self-driving technology.